Morning, folks. It's a nice early morning out here on the farm, and season's over. As you can see behind me, there ain't much snow left in the woods. I mean, yeah, there's some here because it's kind of a shaded hollow, you know, down by a brook, so kind of cool. But most of our woods is pretty bald. There's like no snow anywhere. And season's done. We shut down on Saturday. Today is now Thursday, so we're out pulling taps. But I thought I'd give you a few updates and kind of show you what we're doing when we're pulling taps and how to make it, basically our cleaning process. But first off, we've got our sap ladders. This is one of them. This is our smaller one. It's only got 163 taps or something on it. But our new addition is this valve. We just stuck a little valve on the end, and we can control how much air comes into the system with this. This gives us the air needed to lift the sap up. Out of the sap ladder. So with this, it seemed to work pretty good. For the most part, the vacuum stayed steady, really. It didn't really seem to move at all. And I don't know, I guess it worked pretty good from what we all saw. And so I can't really hold the camera and show you this while one-handed, but see if I can find a tree or something to hang this on, so you can kind of see what we're doing. Probably not here. The girls aren't too far away. I'll have to grab one of them to hold the camera. But season ended early. We shut down, what's today? 27th, so we shut down, what was it, 22nd or something like that, which is pretty early for us. And we'd made 1.8 pounds of syrup per tap. That's our worst year ever. You know, our average is about 4 pounds per tap. I mean, we've done like 3.5, 3.8 pounds. That was okay. Yeah, we're not quite the full crop, but at least we're most of the way there. Not so this year. 1.8 on 7,500 taps. It ain't a whole lot of syrup. So we'll probably be buying some in just to keep all our customers happy. But anywho, that's the way it goes. You know, you just kind of handle whatever gets thrown at you. Can't control the weather, and the weather was cold for so long, and then when it finally warmed up, it skyrocketed. We were 65, 70 degrees. As you saw in one of the videos, I was running around on a snowmobile in my t-shirt, and it melted our snow away. We lost probably 80% of it in that week. And so we went from 3 to 4 foot of snow on the ground out here to next to nothing real fast. And that kind of did us in. It cooled off afterwards, but the sap was starting to sour, and we did all kinds of stuff. And when we dumped everything, the evaporator, sap tanks, when the flavor started to turn on us, and we cleaned everything, started over with fresh sap, and it was still like that. And we hung on for a couple more days, and at that point it was a gamble. Is it going to work? And so we finally just pulled the plug and said, all right, we're done. Oh well. It's always next year. That's the fun thing about sugaring. There's always next year. So let's show you the tap pulling process and what we do to clean things out. So when we're pulling taps, all we're doing, and you probably saw our video last year where we just yanked them and left them hanging. Those ones, we were replacing those drops. And we were experimenting. We did it to the whole woods, regardless whether the drops were being replaced or not. We don't like it. We'd much prefer to pull them with vacuum and get most of the sap out of the lines. One, that stuff freezes and it makes it harder early season to get your leaks fixed and walked, because you got lines that are frozen. And well, where are they frozen? Well, they're only frozen because there's stuff left in the tubing. and that's the only reason. It's not like there's a leak or something. It's just that's the way it is. So we're yanking spout out of the tree. We like these nice 3-foot long tap pullers. It makes it real easy. And then all we're doing is we're cutting the old spout off. We don't save them, we don't clean them. Our method of cleaning is just that. Make sure the drop is clear of sap, cap it off. There are all kinds of cleaning methods out there, and like I've explained that in my video from last year. And with those cleaning methods, yes, you are killing the bacteria right here, right now. However, by the time you get to next spring or next time you go to tap, there's bacteria in the tubing again. We kind of got to the point of why bother cleaning it if it's going to have the same amount of bacteria in it by next season anyways. The seminar I sat in on it when they were talking the different cleaning methods and all that, they were saying really the most effective time to clean them would be in the winter, just before you're going to start putting spouts out and tapping. The problem with that is you don't have time for whatever your cleaning agent in there to evaporate, completely go out. So if you did that, one, it's winter. You're going to cause freeze-ups in your tubing system. Two, it's a pain that time of year, just because you get to go out to every individual tap, usually on snowshoes up here in our neck of the woods. Three, you're going to end up having to dump a bunch of sap on the ground just to make sure whatever your cleaning agent is out, so that you don't make nasty syrup. So for us, it's just easier to just yank them, pull the tap, cut the old spout off, cap them off, and make sure you get the vacuum on, suck all the tubing out, and you have nice clean tubing for next year. And we have cleaned them in the past, but our tubing, like I've seen other people say, was nasty by the time it came to next season. I mean, this would all be like gunk and whatever. There'd be stuff plugging tubing up everywhere. It would get stuck in the tees, it'd get stuck in the saddles, and it were a lot messier for having tried to clean them. This works a lot better, and we get cleaner tubing. So that's kind of tap pulling in a nutshell. Now, all that being said, if you decide you want to clean your tubing, go right ahead, I guess. I mean, it's not what I would recommend. It's a lot of extra work and time, and yeah, it really comes down to time and labor. How much are you willing to put into it? The other thing we got going, working against us up here, is we're on leased land. And being as such, if we don't have our taps pulled by June 1st, we get assessed a fee per tap that's left in. And it's quite a hefty one. Done so to encourage the pulling of taps. I mean, you want the trees to be healthy, right? So, and since it is somebody else's trees and we're just leasing them from them, can only get that done. The other thing up here in northern Maine is black flies. If you have never experienced black flies, by all means, come to the Jackman, Maine area in June. End of May, June especially is like the worst. The first couple weeks really is the worst of it. And I guarantee you won't stay outside very long. So we try to get these all pulled very quickly, because especially now that we've got warm weather and snow's pretty well gone, they're going to be coming out here in short order. So we need to get these things pulled quickly so we can be done out here. Because yeah, when those bugs come out, black flies come out, I go inside. I don't stay out here. I do very little in the month of June outdoors. because it's so bad. You can put bug spray on, you can put bug nets on. They will find a way through the bug net and the bug spray, like whoo-hoo, barbecue sauce or ketchup. You know, they love this stuff, so it makes no difference to them. So with that in mind, I'm gonna get back to pulling taps. The other thing we did over the last couple of days, we ran through our woods, hiking about everywhere, and pulled out all of our monitors and got all those ends capped off, and monitors pulled from the woods, especially this hill. This system here on this hill is loaded with bear, and they chew on everything. I've already had a couple of $100 game cameras get messed up. So we made sure that we got monitors pulled out. They're all safely back at the sugar house where bears cannot chew on them. You know, at $300 a pop for a single port one, higher than that for a double port. And then I got some out here that were triple ports. Those are really expensive. We're talking like $460 or whatever. Yeah, made sure those are a top priority. Get them out of the woods, especially now the bears are going to start coming out here and wreaking havoc. I mean, they're playing around, but you know what? It's my maple woods. Get out of them. So, and they cause enough damage out here as it is anyways. We've got pipe that's been chewed to pieces, you know, courtesy of bears. And we did a lot of fixing over the spring, all those issues. So keep them out of the very expensive electronics, pull them out of the woods. And then they're not sitting out in the weather and the sun, and you know, the plastic degrades and whatever. And now that we got all the hard work done getting things set up, it'll be real easy to run out here next year with a snowmobile and put them on the board and hook them back up again. So on to the next stuff. Oh, I think we're on day 3 pulling taps, and on our way out this morning to head to the woods, had to turn the vacuum on, but a tree that unfortunately we have a couple of sap lines hooked to is leaning on our pump house. And it is not only leaning on the pump house, but it is dangerously close to coming crashing down on every single main line and conductor, or not main line, but conductor that we have out here. So we're going to attempt to cut it a little bit at a time, leave basically a hinge and let it come down on the pipe, but very slowly, so that it doesn't break anything. Because if we break anything on the releasers, we are up the creek without a paddle. It's got to be interesting to say the least. that's how you pull a tree off a pump house. Maybe not the correct way, but if any of you know how a better way to do that, let me know in the comments. Woo! So we're pulling taps out here this morning, and we see this. Sunday night we had a lot of rain and we had a lot of wind, and I guess some of it got pretty vicious somewhere in the middle of the night. This is the end result. So we're going to get this one cut off. This is our second hill, the one with all the bears on it. So we want to get this cleaned up before the bears come over and chew on it. I mean, could be other animals that are chewing on it, but we're going to get this out of the way. Of course, it happens to be one of our trees that tied back. Our main line is tied back too, so that's going to be fun to get off of there. But so at least get the tree off, and then I'll see if I can fix that wire. Figure out wire cutter. I'll figure it out. But here we go. Well, this is a predicament.
So you can't cut the tree and then roll the tree towards it?
Could. Guess we can try that. Day in the life of a sugarman. Okay, Chevy.
See, isn't his wife so smart?
There we go. Yes, my wife is incredibly smart. quite some. Yeah, God definitely created dogs for us to laugh at. Something that brings a smile to your face. Like why? Why is this interesting and fascinating and fun? You know, you're like a little kid playing in the water.